Hello there, this is Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am showing you the Glimmer Hot Foil Kit for the month of December from Spellbinders. This is the Glimmer Mix and Match set. It has some vines and flowers and some words that you can mix and match and put together to create different looks, as well as an additional sentiment that can be foiled and cut out. So first I am going to Glimmer Hot Foil a background using the Scattered Dots plate, one of my most favorite Glimmer Hot Foil plates, paired with my favorite foil, Opal. I'm using these as a background because I want to do some layered foiling. So we're going to foil on top of this background using this new Glimmer kit. So I'm removing that one, and then I'm going to set things aside and bring in my new trimmer that trims my foil. It's so awesome to have some like precision cutting for my foiling. So here you can see me using some low tack tape to put the two pieces together. I'm using the one that says happy birthday with the plate that has flowers on it. So when you put the two together, it makes this oblong oval shape. I'm going to cut some polished brass foil to do my layering over the top of my background, and I am just using my grid mat to see about how big I need to cut the foil, and then measuring that out on the cutting mat. And then you put this template piece over the top. It's a guide, that's what it is. And then you use the blade that says foil to cut that. And it just really gives you a nice edge, and it also is more precise, so I'm not wasting as much foil. I love it. So now I put a piece of printer paper down that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. That's the size of my background. I added my plates face up, my foil pretty side down, and then my background I want to foil on. I put my plates on top with a shim in the middle, and then I'm running that through my die cut machine once the timer has gone off and told me that it is hot enough. And then I can remove that foil, and you can see how awesome that foils on top of an already foiled background. I do feel like I got this one a little bit off center, so I will end up trimming it down before I add it to my card. All right, so that's card base number 1. We're actually going to make 6 cards today. So here I'm going to show you this cutting system one more time so you can see how it works. I'm cutting one for an entire background, so I just use the edge of that guide, and then I actually am using a background that you have to foil repeatedly, and so I actually needed some strips, and also that guide doesn't work well if you have it upside down. All right, so next I am going to bring in the dotted border, and this is so very cool for a background because it has those large polka dots, and you can see you foil it once, and then all you need to do is scoot it over and foil it again to have that repeated background, and you can fill up the whole background if you choose, or you can use it as just a strip. So I will push the timer, and once that goes off, run it through my die machine. And then I'll show you here how I am scooting that over. I'm using the tape to kind of have a hinge to hold this down. And then once I have it all lined up how I want, I will tape it into place again on the other side, just because I am doing something that needs a little bit more precision and I don't want it to move. All right, so for the rest of this background, I just need to do some partial foiling. So I'm going to try and make sure that my foil does not hang off. If it does, you can risk getting foil onto your plates. But if you do, don't worry. You can see mine have quite a bit of foiling on them. They still work fine, and the foiling that gets on the plate does not transfer onto your project. So there is my entirely polka dotted background. Now let's do some foiling on top of that. So again, I'm using some gold foil. This time I am using the one that says thank you. I had a little something on there that did not belong. So again, I'm using that printer paper as a guide to line up the die where I want it to go on my background, and then I can lay my background down and be able to line that up with the printer paper, and then I have it exactly where I want it. So this is a big thank you with the leafy border this time. Okay, let's make some colored backgrounds. This is Cool Pull cardstock, and again, I'm using Opal foil It's a clear foil with an iridescent shimmer to it. So you really want to make sure that you're getting the correct side of the foil. You can't tell with this one. You just have to make sure you keep track of the outside of the foil. So doesn't that look amazing on the cool pool? I love it. So now I'm going to bring in some teal foil to go on top of this one for my layered foiling. So I'll put that on, and again, I'm using that printer paper. It is so handy to do this method and have things line up and be where you want them on your paper. So I use that quite a bit. So let's see how this turned out with the teal foil. And you can see there I used the plate that has like the berries or oranges, whatever you would want them to be. Now this plate moved a little bit, and my plates are getting pretty hot now. So even a little scoot, it can do this like shadow foiling. And so you can use a sanding eraser to get rid of that for the most part, unless it's pretty bad. And then, you know, sometimes you just have to redo it, but you kind of got to learn the tips and tricks of foiling, and then that doesn't happen quite as often. All right, so now I am running that second polka dot plate through, that larger polka dot through. So what I'm doing is creating 2 of each of the backgrounds on each color. So 2 on the white and 2 of the teal, and 2 will be pink. So I have the smaller polka dot background on one and the larger polka dot background on the other. And when I'm making 6 cards, I actually can do almost all the configurations with this mix and match plate set. So I love that. So here it is that says big thank you with the flowers. And then for the pink, I'm doing, again, one that's with the scatter dots and one that's with the polka dots. And then for my darker foil over the top, for this light pink, I'm going to bring in magenta foil. And these go really, really good together. I love this look. So I'm also doing 1 birthday and 1 thank you per color as well. So my thinking behind these cards is that they would make a really good note card gift set. And so that's what I'm making these for, and I just had fun making them. Like, this is going to be something really good that maybe somebody who's not as into card making would really appreciate. They're simple and yet elegant, and they have that extra something because of the shine. So I think it's going to make a really good gift set to give somebody, and then they will have cards to send out. So here's the final pink background. This one is the thank you. And the oranges on there, they look so good. All right, so this is the additional die in this set, or plate, and it comes with a die to cut it out. It says, from me to you. So I saved those oval pieces, the foil from those oval pieces, so I could use the center of it to do these sayings. And again, you can see my plate is getting really hot, so I have some of that kind of shadow foiling, and I am able to erase it here, but I did have to redo the next one. So what I did is I took my plate off and gave it some time to cool off before I moved on for the rest of them. So one thing to note, when you're die cutting out a foiled sentiment, never put your low tack tape over the top of the foiling. It can dull it. So now I'm showing you a brand new product at the Spellbinders shop. These are pre-cut note cards and envelopes, and I have to say I am really impressed with them. The sturdiness of this cardstock is really high quality. The envelopes are made with a very thick and sturdy paper as well. So I'm really liking them. There's an A2 size, a square size, and an A7. So I will link all of those for you below so you can check them out. They come in white and vanilla. So I thought it would be fun to use the vanilla for my gold and white cards. It just kind of brings out the gold a little bit and gives it like an additional color, even though it's all very neutral. So there's the one I had to cut down a little bit, but it still worked on this note card. And then all of my middle sentiments from me to you will be popped up with some foam squares. And now we're moving on to the cool pool ones. I think these ones are my favorite. I just love this color. It's my favorite color. So of course I would love these ones. And I'm really excited to give this away. I actually do a family Christmas bingo every year on Christmas Eve, and we're kind of combining my family and my husband's family, just our parents, for this year, and so it's going to be really fun to have some homemade bingo prizes for our holiday get together. And I know that for sure my mother-in-laws would love to have these cards to give away. All right, so that's going to finish out the gift set. I'm going to stack these all up with the envelopes, put them in a little bag, and tie it with a ribbon, maybe a see-through bag to kind of give them a sneak peek. But I just love how they turned out, and you could really keep going with this depending on the color of foils. With that opal background, you can really put it on any color of paper and then foil over the top with a darker color. And I also wanted to point out that sometimes my backgrounds don't foil absolutely perfect. Some of those dots are a little misshapen, a little missing some foil. I don't mind that look. I feel like it kind of gives it a shabby chic look. So if that happens to you, I encourage you just to go ahead and use that background. I thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you've enjoyed a look at the December Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the Month from Spellbinders. I will be back again very soon with some more stamping videos just for you, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Happy stamping. Bye.